Hello, everyone. Today's topic is going to be forgiveness. Um, I think it's a topic that everyone needs a little refresher on. Um, Especially as Christians, it is something that we need to continually do. It needs to be part of our lifestyle. I mean, things happen and people can mistreat you and say things about you and talk about you behind your back, and as Christians, we are supposed to be examples. So when someone does something to you, obviously you don't want to forgive them sometimes, especially when someone has hurt you really bad. But God requires us to forgive. And it's something that if you have a problem with it or if you have trouble forgiving someone, you need to go to Him and ask and say, God, you know what? I'm having trouble forgiving this person. This person has hurt me badly, and I need to move on in my life, and I need you to help me. I need you to remove this unforgiveness from my heart. Um, you know, if someone stepped on your toe and you never know, maybe they knew they stepped on your toe and didn't say, I'm sorry or whatever, or maybe they didn't and they just kept walking, and it it seems kind of trivial, don't it, to hold that against someone and say, you know what, you stepped on my toe, so I'm not gonna forgive you. And I think God, I think God, when He looks at us and He sees that we have bitterness in our heart and sees that we're holding something against someone, I think it's trivial to Him. You know why? Because if you think about it, He forgave us, and all the stuff that people have done in this world, stuff that we have ourselves have done, against God, and people have, just done horrible, horrible things when they were killing him, and they were beating him, and they said he was unrecognizable. He did that for us, and he was on the cross, and people were yelling things at him, and they stabbed him in his side, and some of everything, they did everything to him, and yet he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. So to me, that's like, wow, like, He forgave me for all my sins, for everything I have done, for all the things that I may do in the future, and this person stepped on my toe, and so now I'm going to sit on the opposite side of the church and not sit next to them because they offended me and didn't apologize to me, and they need to apologize to me first. I ain't saying nothing to them, and all this drama, all this stuff, and God is like, that's not what you're here for. And He's like, you need to forgive this person so that I can use you. I can't use you effectively because you have this unforgiveness in your heart. And He said, if we don't forgive others, He won't forgive us. Like, I need to be forgiven. For all the stuff that I have done. I can't afford to be walking around bitter and angry and upset because of what somebody done to me. Yeah, now some stuff people have done to you is not as simple as stepping on your toe. Some stuff is, really hard hitting stuff. Some people have been molested. Some people, their relatives were killed, or some of anything. A lot of things have happened to people, and it's just like, I cannot forgive this person for that, and that's when God comes in. Because that goes back to being human. And it gets tough, but that's when you need God. That's why we need God. To help us to, say, God, you know what? I can't do this on my own. You know what? This person really, really, really hurt me. And I can't bring myself to forgive this person because it's like they just took a part of me away, and I think God He understands that. And so that's why we need Him. A lot of people, I don't understand how people can go around and say, I don't need God, I've made it this far and I did it on my own, and you can't do nothing without God. I mean, like, it's amazing to me how people say, I achieved this, I achieved that, I did this, I did that, and God wasn't there and He didn't help me do any of it. But yeah, it's like they worship in their self and they have all this trust in their self, but yet one little thing could happen and they could be gone off this earth, and yet they can't save their own life. If we could save our own life, Jesus wouldn't have to have came down to die for our sins. If we could save our own life, if we could do it ourselves, what do we need Him for? But we can't. If I cut my hand, I'm gonna bleed. So I you know it's amazing to me how people have so much trust in themselves. Yeah, it's okay to believe in yourself and all that kind of stuff, but not to the point where you feel that you don't need God, or that you feel that God can't do nothing for you, or He ain't help you do nothing. You know what? If it wasn't for Him, you wouldn't have woke up this morning. You know what? You would have still been, you would have been gone, off the face of this earth. And people around us have passed away, and their lives were cut short. And I know a lot of people. I have some friends who have lost a lot of friends, like, this past summer, and it's just like, wow, like, they were like our age, and I'm 20 years old, so it's like everybody was young, and it's like, wow, they're gone. Like, they can't, it's over. They can't try again. They can't do something over again. And I think that's one thing that really frightens me. Well, I don't want to say frightened, because God has not given me a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. But one thing that always, I would say, was a concern of mine is that I don't want to miss out on the opportunities that God has placed before me. If God said, um, this is what I have planned for your life, I don't want to be going off on all these tangents and doing a bunch of other stuff other than what God told me to do, because in a blink of an eye, I could be out of here. I could be gone. I could be done. God could say, that's it. No more chances. I told you this is what I needed for you to do. And, I gave you this amount of time. Now, I don't know how much time I have on this earth. So that means I can't be fooling around. I can't be, doing a bunch of other stuff that I would want to do. I need to be focused on, okay, God, what do you have me on this earth to do, And that's why, that's another reason why forgiveness is so important, because while you hung up on what has happened to you or something like that, God is like, okay, yes, this person hurt you, but I'm gonna deal with them. They're gonna get theirs, I'm gonna deal with them when they come before me. They're gonna give an account for their life and what they have done to, my children, my people. So what I need you to do is give it over to me. I know they hurt you, but give it back to me. I'm gonna take care of it, and I need you to turn your attention on to what I have called you to do. Yeah, it's a process. It will be a process. You don't just wake up and that's it. You got everything together. Everything is fine and dandy, and everything is just great. No, it's a process. Everything is a process. A woman doesn't just conceive one day and the very next day the child is here and grown and walking and talking and driving and doing some of everything. No, it's a process. She has to wait 9 months for the child to grow and develop, and you know and then the child is finally born, and then the child has to be nourished and taken care of, and then it grows up, and each stage it gets older, it learns something new, and so everything is a process. But I don't want to be here on this earth and following my own agenda and sitting around and having bitterness in my heart because someone stepped on my toe, and I'm worried about that. And they could be going on with their life, they could be walking around, living their life, serving God and stuff, and not even knowing that they hurt you. And that's why the Bible says, to go to that person and say, you know what, you did this to me, and I feel some type of way about this, and I need to know, I'm asking your forgiveness, and I'm trying to talk this over with you because I want to get right. I want us to both move on with our life and to do what God has called us to do. I don't want, you know, all this bitterness in my heart. So I said all that to say that it's time to forgive, and it's time to get on with what God has called us to do and stop dilly-daddling, because tomorrow is not promised, and just you may be 2 years old, but tomorrow is still not promised to you. God put us on this earth for a certain amount of time to get done what He asks us to get done. And I'm a big procrastinator, especially when it comes to schoolwork and a lot of that stuff. That's something that God needs to help me with, is procrastination. But I do not want to procrastinate when it comes to things of God, because I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I hope I'm here a while, but I just want to make sure that my first priority is Him. Whatever He told me to do, that's first priority. That comes first. And, that should be for everybody. So just ask God if you're having trouble forgiving, for anything. You know, um, we don't have to walk around here and be, clueless about things. That's what we can pray to God. We can ask Him. You say, God, I need your help. Direct me in the path that you need me to go. And also, that's when reading the Word comes in, because the Word is like our guidebook. It's our manual for living here, for living on earth. Bible stands for basic instructions before leaving earth. So those are the instructions. Those are what you go to. You go to that Word and you say, okay, God, let me find in your Word what you said about this situation, what you said about this, and help me through it, God. I need your help. And it's okay to ask Him. He's nice. He don't bite. But that's all I want to say. And I hope everyone has a good night.